weekend. Wherever you are in your practice, mentally or physically today, we want to embrace love and light in our yoga practice, but also please understand that if you're having the blues, everyone's been stuck at home lately, if you're really down in the dumps in this moment or for long periods of time, that is exactly why our mat is here, for us to practice non-judgmental kindness and compassion for our bodies and our brains. And sometimes that means ceasing movement, just sitting and watching your breath. So if that's you today, I thank you for joining me in every and any capacity. I have everyone on mute, and I would like to ask you to join me on your mats, please. We're beginning today's class in a tabletop position. Tabletop, for those of us that are new, is coming down to our hands and knees, and let's make everything easy and graceful, so a really slow descent to the earth. Hands would be about under shoulders. If you're really tight in your shoulders, you can pivot your index finger a little bit out to the side. And then knees are placed about under hips with toes tucked or untucked. And to begin, warming up today our breath, our shoulders, our wrists, and our hips by simply breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, and then moving as if you're on a really rocky ship, kind of swaying side to side here, swaying front and back. Filling up and seeing if we can expand left to right in our rib cage. Top to bottom, right underneath our collarbones, all the way down to our pelvic bowl. And then reach your hands about a hand width or two forward to ease yourself back in child's pose. Hips to heels, nose bows down towards the earth, but then rise right back up into this wide tabletop. Shift a little bit more forward onto the front of kneecaps and right back to child's. Inhale as you rise up, shift forward. Exhale as you ride back, this time tenting your fingertips. So the tips of your fingers start suction cupping towards one another, causing the heel of your hand to get really hollow. Inhale, come forward, flat palms. Exhale, ease back. Tent fingertips and find energy under the arms. Twice more like that, using your breath to move. If we feel we get breathless or we get a little laggy in our breath, it's become hitched or labored, we've probably gone a bit too far. Let's take a step back, a moment to pause, and then we'll revisit. Back to tabletop, and this time flipping both backs of hands down. I'll show you this from the front, and middle fingers together. Now this is very difficult on tight wrists. So if it's super hard, you're gonna walk your knees closer to your pinky finger and then ease your buns back a little bit so you have just a tiny bit of weight on your wrists. If this is very easy for you, you can walk your knees further back or bring your chest more forward. Ooh, that's hard. From here, make a fist and see if you can get your thumb involved. Very difficult. Wrap your thumb around your pointer finger or your middle finger, and then breathe into your wrists. Elbows are slightly bent here. If it's too intense, ease back, buns to heels. If you need more, come forward. And then once again, let's just move a tiny bit like you're on that swaying ship. And if possible, we're adding in cat-cow. So we're gonna empty out all of our breath with a big puff. Next inhalation, navel drops to floor. Tailbone and top of head rise. Exhaling, curling the spine up towards the sky. Eyes to navel, tailbone to floor. Let's keep rolling through our cat-cow. But if it's way too much for the backs of your hands to be down, make fists and put your knuckles down. Or just come back to your flat palms. That's a big wrist stretch. Let's hang on to it for as long as we can. We're only gonna go through one more round like this. Hang in there, yogis. Exhale. And when you come back to a neutral spine, ease your buns back and just let your hands rest for a second. Don't even expect too much. See if you can just gently roll one way and then roll the other. A little wrist warm up here. Then bring the backs of your hands together. My fingertips are facing down. Then see if you can swivel fingers towards body and up, and all the way back down and around. Now you may like to kind of like swivel around, refine the back of your hand if that feels better, that's nice too. But as long as you get like a little wag, your wrists should feel pretty good. One more wrist warm up for us. Are you ready? Coming back to tabletop. Notice how we have weight in all portions of our hand here, from the wrist crease down through tips of fingers. We're going to try to lift the lower portion of the hand, the very bottom heel of the hand. Lift up. Some might want to lift too when we come to just the base knuckles of the top 4 fingers, and then release back down. Lift and release. Too much? Do one hand, and then the other hand. Think about what we talked about earlier. If we want it to be easier, we lean back, right? Keep going through your wrist push-ups. If we want it to be harder, we shift weight forward. Whoa, get heavier, and then try to do them here. Lastly, can you slow down your descent? So it's not like a plop, it's like a lift and a feather light release to the floor. Let's go for 6 more, guys. If you're alternating, 3 more aside. Keep breathing. Breath needs to be strong to sustain this. Last lift. Well done. Sit back again. Last wrist stretch. Take a little ball. You're gonna feel really tight and wrinkly in the base knuckles here. And then just do your circles this way. Let's go one direction, then the other. Well done, guys. I'd say we feel pretty warmed up in our wrists, right? Let's give it a try. We're gonna come up from tabletop into plank position. Plank can always be full plank. It can be on forearms if we prefer. Or at any time, knees can be kneeling in either spot, or we come into tabletop. Whenever you are ready, we're getting super light in our planks. Remember that swaying shift? Just sway around a little bit. See if you can experiment by putting weight into all areas of your fingertips, on all parts of your toes, towards the tiptoes, back towards the balls of your feet, outer edge, inner edge, tip of thumb, pinky finger, try to move forward and back. One more breath. This is what makes plank fun. Downward facing dog. Bend your knees a little, scoop your hips up, and ease back. In downward facing dog, take a little sway side to side and find the most comfortable alignment for you. Ears between elbows, chin tucked so neck is long. Energetically pressing heels towards the mat, but they may never get there, and that's okay. One more big breath in. Drop to knees, find forearm plank. This may be your second visit here if you loved forearm plank on the first round. And if you're ready, just a little bit of a swing and sway. I always think about this as exploration. We're just kind of seeing if a certain spot feels like it really needs us to linger. Breathe to open up. Dolphin pose. We're gonna press our hips back. Now you're welcome to keep your wrists right in front of your elbows or clasp hands and press your pinky side down. Walk your toes in towards your elbows and press back. Those of us with really tight shoulders are gonna have a difficult time with dolphin, which means we should try to visit it a little bit more to ease out of that tightness. But if it's too intense, we don't push through that. We pause, take a break, and maybe in child's pose, and we revisit if possible. 2 more breaths, yogis. See if you can lift your heels and rock towards the tiptoes to send more weight overhead for your last round of breath. On the exhalation, ease back to knees. Walk hands towards knees. And then try to find your way up as slowly as possible. Knees rise. You're like a really tight flower bud, and you're coming into slow motion bloom. Arms rise up and overhead. Now step all the way to the back of your mat from where you landed. We're gonna do some spinal articulation. Arms rise overhead, straight like an arrow. And then exhale, let your arms fall long. Softly by your sides, tuck your chin to your chest and roll down like a rag doll towards your big toes. Walk hands forward and out to the top of your mat. for plank. You know you have options. Kneeling plank is great. Pause for a breath. Walk your hands back in. Try to keep your hips really still and strong. Roll up tiny little increments at a time, one little portion of your vertebrae. Right back up to extended mountain pose. Lift. Exhale, arms fall. Tuck and roll again. Round everything really big, like a beautiful massage for your body. Walk out with still hips. Belly brace, navel up to spine. Find a plank variation or full plank and breathe. Walk back. All right, one more round of spinal rollouts, lifting slowly. The slowest person on this rise is the winner. We have no time to rush our yoga practice. Lift and lengthen, release. Exhale and fold, so soft. And this time we stay in plank for one extra breath. Pause and hold. Find a sway if it's feeling unfun. Make it enjoyable. One more breath. Walk back. Great job, guys. Slow roll to the top. And then if you want to take a giant Hanuman leap forward or a little bit, we need to come to the tops of our mats for sun salutations. Let's find our feet first. Arms softly overhead. Lift your heels. Land your heels. Lift and land. Just a little game to see how balanced we are. One more. Squeeze your calves up and hold. Release. Lift one ball of foot. Put it back down, the other ball of foot. Kind of like you're doing a little sway, a little dance. You got some good tunes going on in the back of your mind. Are you able to lift both balls of feet and hold? It's really wiggly. Remember, when we stumble and we fall, that's all good news. We're gonna add that to our yoga repertoire. Heels down, beautiful. Lift inner arch and then outer arch. So a little inner arch and a little outer arch on each foot. You're welcome to go at the same time. That's hard on the way in, so I like to do a little dance there. Open, open. One more round, finding all four corners of our feet, and we are ready to roll on. Inhale, extended mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your chest forward and spread your wings long. Your knees can bend a lot to catch you if your hamstrings are really tight. Halfway lift. Inhale, lengthen. Top of head away from your tailbone. And if you'd like to grab any yoga props to build the floor up, this is a great time to do so. Blocks, hard books, or pillows. When you're ready, your right leg steps back long. A low lunge. Climb up your front leg. Lift your chest and try to come into two 90-degree knees. Two 90-degree knees so we can really feel the front of our hips stretching. Sink back down. And if it might feel good to add your arms, rise back up and release. Join me now. Arms rise as hips rise. Exhale, arms float down. They don't have to come that way. Any way to lift. Any way to release. One more time, yogis. And release. Come back down to frame out your foot and sweep it out along the side for a gate pose setup. Right knee shin and top of foot are flat. Crawl to your right knee and rise to the sky. Good job. Soften your left knee, but plate edges pushing down. Then windmill the arms all the way down to the floor or a prop. If fingertips get tired, use your fists. Take one more big breath. Open your chest to the sky unless your neck is giving you feedback. Look down. And try to windmill back up on the exhale. Let's see if we can. Awesome, guys. Arms rise. Come down towards your knee. Sweep your left leg back into child's pose. Just for a second, we're going to rise right on up into downward facing dog. Pressing up with the hips and then back through the thighs, back through the chest. Ease your heart a little closer to your thighs. Roll forward into plank when you're ready. And this time, tricep push-up. Elbows head back, chest comes through elbow window. And we just gently lower 2 elbows, then to the floor. Baby cobra. Palms are somewhere about in line with our collarbones. And then we're gonna elevate the shoulders, peel them back towards spine, Elbows squeeze back behind us. Toes are still on the mat. Hip bones are anchored in to help us boost through the upper body. Tiny baby back bend, relax. Press back to child and right into downward facing dog. All right, my friends, let's finish up this side. Reach your right toes a little bit or a lot off the mat for three-legged dog. Bend your heel to your butt. Pull your right knee to your chest, still in your dog. Look forward and try to crunch enough forward that you land in between your thumbs. Help your ankle through under your knee when you feel ready. Let's land a low lunge. And remember how we climbed up right to the right thigh. So if I do that, I feel beautiful stretch, 90-degree knees in my left hip flexor, psoas muscle. Sink back down. Rise up. With a sigh, let it all go. Breathe in, guys. Any way the arms feel good. They could just come right through heart center. Breathe in. Breathe out. I like to try to make them different every time and explore, see what feels really good. Frame out your front foot. Lift up off of your back knee, and this time step forward, please. All right, guys, sink on over for forward fold. If this is very difficult, bend your knees a bunch and support yourself. Roll a little bit side to side as you begin to rise your back, the back of your neck, the back of your shoulders to the sky. Your chin is tucked and your head is the last to come, like a beautiful massage. Inhale, rise. Spend as much time lengthening here as you can, and then exhale, fold forward again for round two. Inhale, halfway lift. Let's really let our fingertips be very light and soft. Shoulders are encouraged to pull back down towards hip bones, and we release deeply into our fold again. Left side lunges back. And if it feels right, we're gonna stay elevated off of our back knee. A little bit of movement front to back to feel our way. Arms are rising up and overhead. Inhale, come a little out of a lunge. Exhale, let the arms melt to sides, letting hips fall. Inhale, rise. If it's like my day outside, it might be rain cascading down. Inhale, rise. If you're super wobbly like me and you're all over the place, widen up left to right. That'll give you a better foundation. Release. Frame out your front foot. Let's try to push back to down dog. Right leg goes back if we need to stop along the way. Our tabletops and our child's poses are always here for us. From downward facing dog, roll forward into your favorite version of plank, remembering that that can always be on forearms. And in that case, when you get ready, chaturanga, or we'll meet those of you that are on forearms right down on the mat. Toes come flat. Engage all 10 toes and press them into the mat to uplift you. Stay with our first option, our baby cobra. Reach your fingertips behind you. Reach palms along the floor and then turn your thumbs up. Because thumbs up always during our yoga practices, right? It's good stuff. Now start to elevate. Press down through toes. Anchor hip bones in and lift upper half away. Breathe. It's the hardest part. Release back down. Somehow get back to down dog. Maybe you just pop on up, press on back, or you might find a ooey gooey path to carve along the way. Make a few pit stops if you please. Left leg lifts a little or a lot. Press long no matter where you are. Flex your foot and energy out the left heel. Crunch heel to butt. Left knee into your chest, still in dog. Look forward and try to land right in between your heels, or your thumbs, excuse me. Let your hips be heavy and let's go through our sequence one more time. Rise up. We're still able to stick with our kneeling lunges from round one if that feels best. Otherwise, lift a little, follow the arms. Let the arms fall, hips melt too. Inhale, uplifted, energized. Exhale, balance and grounding. Inhale all that love and light. And then exhale a little bit of our stress and worries. One more round. This time we're going to find our hands just outside of our front foot. Back leg comes in somehow, step to forward fold. Hang your body heavy. Just give some love to your lower half. Spend a second breathing into your hamstrings. And then super slowly sway side to side. Then roll up one little vertebrae at a time. Remembering that the slowest riser is definitely the best in the spine after this. My favorite move. Okay, let's move on. Arms rise. Extended mountain pose, stay because it feels wonderful. Exhale, release when you feel ready. Right leg steps back to lunge. Rise to your lunge. We don't have to lift our arms because we're gonna plant our back laid edge of foot. Remember when we lifted our inner arch? I want you to think about energizing inner thigh. If your hips are really diagonal like mine, and there's no way to inch them forward, try stepping a little bit more wide, left to right. Then see if we have a little leverage in our hips. We're gonna find warrior one. Arms lift. And then just feel like you're at home. Bend into your left knee. Find softness in your right knee. Lift the arms up like you have a ladder and you're climbing the rungs of your ribs. Lift a little and a little. Left arm higher, right arm higher. Clasp your palms overhead. Extend your pointer fingers and point to me. Reach to me with everything you have. Extending long and strong through warrior one. Sweep fingertips to the ground. Sweep to the wall behind you. Back to the sky and to me. You made a big circle, great. Arms open, chest stays low. We're gonna stay in the heat of this warrior one. Chest rises, back to home base, arms lift. Clasp with pointer fingers extended, reach to me and a super slow circle around the mat. Down low to the back edge, up to the ceiling. The slower we go, the harder it is, yogis. Point to me. Arms spread wide, chest stays low, lengthen. Find effort and ease. Uplift your chest. Effort in the lower half, ease in the upper. 2 more rounds like that. Now, if your shoulders are killing you, feel free to do it here. Come from goalpost here, and we can just make a little circle, okay? If you're ready, extend long. Sweep low. Could you drag your fingernails along the mat? Envision pressing them up through the ceiling. Rotate forward and hold. Arms open. Breath is steady. You are strong. You are determined. Chest rises. Just 1 more round. Arms rise to wherever it feels great. Yes, it's challenging. Yes, there's shaking happening. New strength forming. Sweep when you're ready. Continue breathing as slowly and as constructively as you can, sending breath to wherever your body needs it. Arms open. Chest rises. Yes, yogis, great job. Rise up and then give yourself a little pat on the back because you really deserve it. Arms lift again. Back toes turn into lunge. Frame out to your front foot, and you might need a kneeling lunge like, whew. Take it if you like it. Otherwise, downward facing dog. Give a little shimmy like you're walking the dog quickly here, pushing and pulling, alternating heels. That'll really free things up. Shift forward, find your plank. Always optional to roll through a vinyasa. You could just pause and breathe. Chaturanga. To the floor we go. Find your version of a back bend. If the first two, your baby cobra or your upper locust weren't really speaking to you, we can press palms, straighten arms, lift knees and thighs, and find an up dog. And anything that would feel great with your neck is an added bonus. Back to downward facing dog when you're ready. Right leg lifts, but push, push, push long. Push out a little longer. Bend your heel to butt, knee to chest, and this time arc your knee around to the outside, landing your right foot outside your right pinky finger. We're here in a wide lunge. And then we're gonna walk hands forward to extend our side bodies. Extend through your neck. Pull your belly away from your toes. 1 more breath. Look forward, energy coming forward. Back leg stepping outside the left pinky finger. A squat of your choice, whether it's a power version or a more yogic version. Coming on down. And if you've got blocks or pillows, it's so nice to put them under your buns and just sit, worrying more about the openness of your thighs. These are nice. Exhale into wide-legged fold. Push your palms down, lift your hips, turn your toes in so they feel happy. And from this fold, a little swing and sway with soft knees. Swing and sway your way to the top. If you prefer a practice where you flatten your back and then you hinge up, please do it. This is your practice. When you get to the top, rise up. I love a little swing and sway. Strong like an arrow, toe heel, a little funky walk, or just pop your feet together. Exhale, forward fold. Ready for the next round. Halfway lift, inhale, find lightness in all of your hair follicles, like they're helium balloons pulling you away from your lower half. Refold. Left leg lunges back. Aiming for a high lunge in this round, but you know that you can always have your knee down. Arms lift. Okay, so we're finding warrior one. Do you remember how that felt? Let the toes fall out about 45 degrees. Late edge push down, and then if you're super cattywampus in your hips and you can't budge, then we're gonna step a little wider. Soften back knee. Aiming to scoot our left hip towards the right knee, but there's no set goal, just so it feels good, strong, and stretchy. Warrior one. When you're ready, now we know what's coming, which is good and bad. Clasp your hands, extend your pointers, just know that we're all in it together, and even if we're taking a break, we're cheering you on. Fingertips point to me. To the floor we go, a super slow circle. While we're really strong in the beginning, we're gonna take advantage of really slowing down. Come forward and hold. Arms spread wide, like you're racing in for the biggest bear hug. Chest lifts, you're about to greet that bear hug, and then just sweep it overhead. You've just taken it all in. Great job, yogis. Just 3 more. Inhale, lengthen. When you're ready, the hard part, I usually like to exhale, so I've started my exhalation here. All the way around. Inhale and extend long, top of head to tail. Pointer fingers towards left blade edge. Arms spread. Crown rises. Feel uplifted in your collarbones. 2 more rounds. Halfway there means we're twice as strong, right? Come on forward. Reach. Remembering we have small arm options and we have a holding option. Open chest. Breathe and spread your wingspan a little longer. Light, lifted fingertips. Last round. Bring some confidence and motivation to your brain. We've got this. Breathing it in and sending it to every cell of your body. Exhaling and spreading it to other cells. Happy little smiley cells, like Bob Ross would say. Super strong yoga cells. Chest rises. We're almost there, yogis. Arms rise overhead. Back toes turn in. We take a second in our lunge. Whew. Holy cow, that was tough stuff, right? Not a vinyasa just yet. Take your right leg all the way out to the side for gate pose. Walk fingertips back in towards your knee. Roll to the sky, just to make it really luxurious. And then tip over a little or all the way. Left fingertips down. Right arm up. Overhead, maybe in a goal post, whatever would feel expansive. And if you went deep into it, it's tough to get out. So we're gonna take our eyes down, big breath in. On the exhalation, like a reverse of our cartwheel, and then a melt back down. Now we go to child's, table, or down dog. When you're ready to breathe in again, yogis, come on forward for your plank. Exhale. Inhale, scoop up anywhere. You know, you have baby cobra, upper locust, you have dog, up dog with me. Back to down dogs. Left leg lifts, just a little bit, and then really push it long. Worry less about height and more about length. Heel to butt. Left knee to chest, but sweep it out to the left side. Arc it around the corner and find a low lunge. Now, like someone's pulling you from your earlobes forward. Back leg is gonna get a little lighter once we shift forward, right? And then we just pop it up here. Not so easy, we may need to hop it in, no worries. Finding a squat of your choice. Well done on the strength portion of our class. We're gonna move into some balancing hip work and then some beautiful easygoing hip work. Rising when you can. I like to turn my toes in a little bit, heels out, to rise up. And then remember, there is no rush. If you like a little motion in your ocean, give it a cruise around the corner. Step, jump, wiggle your toes in however you can. Arms rise. Re-lengthen here. Exhale, release. Left knee comes in. Try to give it a little hug if possible. If it's tough for you to get it off the ground, just keep toes down. We're attempting to rise and use less shoulders here. I'm just gonna ease my shoulders back. Flex left foot, and then try to cross it over your right thigh. If that's super impossible, toes from floor can cross over pinky toe, and we're just gonna do a little sit here. Just a bit tougher to sit like this because you have a little obstruction with your shin and your ankle. So if you're able to cross it over, even if you go like this, over to your wall and you're using your wall, maybe you're using a chair, whatever, okay? You wanna get a really good left glute stretch. This foot remains really flexed, so we feel the stretch left to right across our leg. And then as we ease back, we uplift our chest, ease down, uplift our chest. Sit back into your biggest version of this figure 4 chair. Stretch your arms forward, and if possible, start to forward fold. Now you may have blocks or pillows you could rest your fingertips on, or you may decide to come all the way down around your shin and kind of wrap your chest over it. Whatever works, guys. Lots of breath. And as you rise, a little figure 4 twist, coming back to right where you started. And if you have your toes down, we're just gonna do like air traffic controller, a little twist over to the right like this. We have our foot crossed over. We're gonna attempt to get down. Left hand towards the bottom of the left foot and use it like a lever to open right arm to the side wall or behind us. One more breath. Come on back forward. Stay balanced. I know you can. Relift or re-tap left toes. Hold on. Give it a loving hug. One more challenge on this balance sequence. Flex your foot again and press your toes to make. Even if your heel is on the ground, press your flexed foot out. If you can, extend the arms. If you need to hold a bent knee or the back of a leg, go for it. Otherwise, use your strong yoga thigh. Press out. Take one more big breath in. I know you can. Exhale. Control the descent. Really slow here. I don't know which one is harder. The right leg had a hard time, or does the left thigh have a hard time? Shake it out no matter what you're feeling. Let's begin that again. Arms rise. Inhale. Find lots of length. It feels delicious. Right knee elevates a little bit or a whole lot. I'm going to ask you to give it a giant hug if you can get it. Really squeeze it. Nice to release our hip a little bit. You're always welcome to find movement in these as well, okay? Flex your right foot strong. Let's cross over the left thigh. Hopefully the ankle bone all the way across the thigh. Now we know our options, and when you've landed, sink but rise. Hips, heart. Feels nice, right? Arms lift. If they don't lift, they don't lift. Remember, we're approaching everything with open-mindedness, non-judgmental, compassion, and kindness. If you have a mad case of the wiggles, remember that's all part of our yoga dance. Coming forward, if you like, this is gonna make things more intense, press buns back, enliven fingertips. And then possibly folding. Belly comes in, it can rest and drape right over your right shin. I love props in this case because it really makes the floor a bit more accessible. There's no right way to fold. I just want you to feel good in every posture and every shape we make. Let's take one more breath in, yogis. And on the exhalation, use that energy to rise back up. If our toes are still down, we're simply sweeping arms to the left. We can do the same with crossed legs, or we're gonna reach our right arm down to try to find our right foot, and then use it like an uplifting lever. Moving eye gaze more towards the left thumb, if at all possible. That gets really wobbly, so when you feel unsafe, bring your eyes back down to the ground. Inhale back to center, very slowly moving. The challenge is not over yet. Arms rise if possible. Right knee rises, and then flex your foot strong and press your toes to meet. Option, option, anywhere, okay? Think about strengthening up through your right thigh. Squeeze, breathe, know that you can do this. Dig deep. Exhale, slowly controlling our release. And now we get to do the yoga dance party. Shake it out. Whatever feels like it needs a little massage or a little kind of help or shimmy, give it to it. Arms rise. Exhale, come on back down. We're going to revisit those postures, but this time in the friendlier version. Any leg that wants to land should land. Your hands are going to come behind you. And then we're bringing our right knee into our chest. Make sure you feel good in your hands, shoulders and chest. Right knee in. Attempt to cross that same thing again. Gonna cross our right ankle across our left thigh. Okay, if that doesn't work, let your leg come out. Try this way. And ultimately, if you need to, you can grab your leg and help it. I just don't want to force anything, so I use that as a last resort. If and when you find it, we're gonna lift our chest here. Breathe in. That feels better. And then it's very tough to scoot buns towards heels and lift from here. That's too intense. Come on back of it. Now, where you are in your yoga practice today is there's no prediction of what's happening in the future. Today would be a day where you're like, I just want to take it easy. You don't have to push to our max. Doesn't have to be different or the same as our last practice. I just want you to observe every second and ask, how could I make this feel better? One more big breath. And on your exhalation, both legs are falling to the left side. So your right foot will be flat. We're going to take our hands around to get our right cheek to scoot towards the mat. Too tough to keep your leg crossed? Put it right in front of your left shin. Otherwise, when we get it over here, we're going to go like this and just give it the biggest hug ever. If we need a little bit of freedom, our left leg can extend out to make this more accessible. Right hand comes down. Left elbow comes over for a high five. And then we round this corner for a beautiful seated twist. If your left hand is bothering you, just kind of floating in space here, you can let it fall wherever it wants. I usually like to rest mine on the right outer thigh. And then let's get light on our facial features. This is a very challenging twist. So we start to grimace. We start to clench. Let your right arm be soft as it props you up. And as we progress here, instead of asking, what can I gain from this posture? Ask what you can give your yoga practice today. Maybe you give it your humility. I do that a lot. Give it your ego. There's no ego involved, so just give that away. Let go. Give it your faith, your trust, all of your breath. You can fill in the blank there. What can I give my practice? Unwind, and let's do a little counter twist, a tiny twist away, twisting to the left, just so easy, no pressure. Stay for another breath, because you can probably ease a little deeper in the longer you stay. These are great desk exercises, yogis. So if you have your chair and your desk, you can use either or both and just boost yourself around the corner with or without a crossed leg. Come on back. Oh, I'm so excited. That was nice. We get to do it again. Free up your legs and let them do what feels normal. Maybe a swish, windshield wiper. Very, very applicable to today's rainy forecast. Might be a little steeple knee. Might need a little body hug. When you're really ready, you're gonna lift your left leg and cross it over if possible. We really have a hard time there. We can cross with just the tiniest bit of a bend. And then we ask ourselves what feels great to uplift in our heart. Once we get all of our rocks and rolls out of the way and we feel cozy, we want to scooch buns towards right heel. Big on the left glute, right? Now breathe into where you're feeling sensations. Take comfort in your breath, washing tension away. If your shoulders feel kind of funky and you're really having a hard time, try to spin them around to a new place. Soften your elbows. And on that last exhalation, begin to let your feet fall over to the right side. Left foot comes flat. And then we have to scooch our buns around so they feel pretty safe and centered. If our leg just won't make contact with the earth, you can prop something under it, or we can uncross it to the right shin. And you know that when you cross, if you're still feeling a little wobbly and backwards falling, extend your right leg out. Does everybody have a great spot? Give yourself a giant hug. Right arm wraps around, just squeeze your left leg. It's loving, but the bonus is this great outer thigh and glute stretch on the left leg. And then as you spin around the left side, we may want to give ourselves a high five. Lift up belly braces to really allow the swivel. And we're light on our left hand, using the outer right leg, the bottom of left foot, our glutes and our sits bones to really press and uplift us. Let's take one more beautiful breath in here. Eye gaze down is really relaxing. You want a little bit of a challenge, eyes can swivel to the wall behind you. Unravel and counter twist. Let's spin our body slowly here. Over to the right side. When you get there, you can do anything you need to pick up your left cheek if you want to kind of fall, but just really gently opening. Notice where you've landed, and then after 2 more breaths, notice where you end up. Even if we physically did not twist deeper, maybe your mental space changed and you just felt more relief. Remember that swish, unwind, let your legs do their thing. And then whatever feels natural, it could be just let my legs plop open and relax. I could give them a swish, I could send them out and give them a shimmy. Let's work on back body. So we're gonna swing our legs around for a bridge today. When you get around this corner, easing our bodies down to the best of our abilities. I really like to slide the thighs, but you could also hold on and just kind of work your way down side to side. When you do get down, allow yourself a minute to readjust to your new alignment. Press your heels down, and then if you can tickle them with your fingertips, they're in a great place. If not, maybe bring them a little closer to your buns. Begin your ascent, rising up into a soft bridge, nothing serious right now. Maybe a little hammock swing side to side. Descend and hover, and then rise again. We're looking for openness. It's like we're searching for the best path to take to open our back body, to strengthen our back body. Rise up again, and if it feels right, stay. You're welcome to keep your palms open to the side. I really like this so we don't clench and start to use our shoulders and arms. Palms open is great, or you can walk your hands under your low back for a little clasp. Really tuck your shoulder blades under there like you're giving yourself a back body hug. And then when you get there, remember our heel lifts from earlier? Let's start to rise, heels up. Ooh, we got that good toe crack. Heels down. If it's too much, left heel, right heel, no pressure. But we're gonna give ourselves a big calf hug, squeeze in, and then release. 2 more like that, guys. We can always stay with our first option. Just our bridge is a beautiful place to pause. When you're ready, both heels rise and hold. Last breath in. Heels melt down, arms stay unless they need to be removed from back body and just rested to the sides. Right knee pushes into chest and extends high to the sky. Take another breath and allow your toes to guide your hips higher. Rebend right leg, heel comes back down, left knee into chest, toes reach up. Now really let your toes pull you high into your back bend here. Knees rebend, feet replace. Give your body one more big squeeze up, and then unclasp hands if they're still there. Walk down off of your shoulders, spread your arms. Ease your spine down one tiny vertebrae at a time. And again, listen to your body. Do your knees just want to flop out to the side? Go for it. Do you want to gather them up and give yourself another full hug of TLC? Some of us may like wide knees, give our belly spaces. And when you're ready, guys, we are going to take our knees, extend our feet to the sky, cross our left ankle over our right, and then rebend our knees. Send arms really wide and allow your legs to fall over to the right. Now, I like to tap my toes down, scoot hips left, and then allow my legs to fall. Feels really nice for your spine that way. Your hips are directly under your shoulders, so your spine is very long and feels great. When you've landed, eye gaze and left shoulder really pressing down to the left side. Now we're nourishing our low back with this twist, but if it's just not enough, right hand can grab a hold of the left outer thigh and take it up towards your chest. Then allow it to fall towards the mat or possibly extend straight and extend out that way. And then you have one job, relax, just let go. If you have time in your practice, I definitely encourage you to stay longer here. These are the moments. Rebend your top leg if it was straightened. And if your back is really tender, I want you to turn over to the right side in the fetal position. Roll your body up as one unit. Otherwise, we're just going to take our eyes to the sky. Knees follow. Rewrite yourself here. Check in and see what feels new and good. Legs extend back to the sky. Really flex and push. Right ankle crosses over the left. Knees rebend. Now, if you know you can go into the bigger version, you're welcome to drop legs over straight. I like to tap toes down, scoot hips to the right, then drop knees. They're just right there. It's so easy. And then I just see where I am today. If I know I'm ready for some more, left hand will guide the right outer thigh down closer, where my whole right leg will straighten. And then my goal is to swivel my right shoulder flat, really pressing strong through shoulder girdle, and eye gaze over to the right side for 3 super deep breaths. Take this opportunity to slow down. Let your joy, let your happiness, let your contentment catch up with you. In a world where, even though we're home a lot now, we still have a bit of rush, 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 go, 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 do, do, do. Now we just get to be, to slow down, and let all of the good things catch up. At the bottom of that last exhalation, eyes come back to sky. We have a beautiful opportunity to roll to the fetal position. The roll back up is one unit, or we can just use our super strong obliques to lift us back with bent or straight legs. Simply take a moment to check in. We're going to go slow for the rise, but I'm asking everyone to finish in a seated posture today. So we're going to rock a little bit side to side to reawaken our spine. And then start to rock top of head to tail. And if you're not used to coming to seated like this could be really awkward. So you're welcome to just roll around the corner and get yourself up to seated anyway. But it's a little fun to do it with a rock. So let's rock toes or tail to top of head and then really get your rock going. So all of a sudden you're just like, whoop, here I am. When you get to seated, you're straightening your legs for a beautiful hamstring stretch at the end. I have a couple options. We're lifting our bodies. And when you get here, instead of trying to thrust your legs out to find length like this, I'm going to ask you to lift your right cheek and pull it back while you push your right heel out. Lift your left cheek and pull it back while you push your left heel out. So we're finding length in both directions instead of just an awkward thrust. Exhale and fold forward. If it feels good to have something comforting under your belly like a pillow, grab that. If you want to have blocks or books or pillows on either side to prevent you from falling too deep, please do. Or best part is to get a rolled blanket or a sweatshirt underneath your knees so they're really soft as you extend and stretch your hamstrings. And for those of you that are leaving us today at 1:55, I just want to encourage you to stay right here because you only have a minute left. So I want you to really feel this beautiful stretch before you go. But if you're staying with me, we're going to take a couple of options. And the first one is going to be an arm placement. So we're going to take our left hand towards anything. If you're not really folded that deeply, you might be up on your thigh. Right hand would come over, and it's just going to be a cross body, like an opening through my back body and a folding. Or I could come down towards my feet, my ankles. I could hold the sides of my mat, whatever really speaks to me. And for those of us that are finishing up here, this is our last breath in. On the exhalation, very slowly climb your way back up your bodies. Take a second to find that beautiful spinal length. And then sweep your legs around so you can get back to kneeling. Roll up slowly like we practiced earlier. And just glide right off your yoga mat today. Thank you for joining us. If you have a crisscross going on, let's switch. So we're going to take the left arm under and the right arm on top this time. Anywhere you're grabbing is great. I do want to caution you if you tend to put a little too much pressure on and then you start to get this kind of a twist going on where your toes come in. That's just going to give you a funky back of leg stretch. We want to stay flexed so the full left to right on the back of our legs gets stretched here. And then we're going to finish with some more hamstring stretching, but we're unthreading wherever we are. And we're going just like the same way everyone else just did. We're going to get to standing with one more stretch to finish class and then a little breath work at the end to reinvigorate us and keep us going through the afternoon. It's a slow climb to standing, and we're actually going to stay and fold when we get there. So let your body fold heavy. And after that big stretch, you may need a big knee bend. It might be a little too much. So we come into it softly with no judgment. Our right foot crosses in front of the left, and we're attempting to press our big toes down in this cross-legged forward fold. Using any props to build your floor up, you're welcome to press the backs of your hands down like we did in the beginning of class to re-stretch the backs of your wrists. When your big toes pull up, try to press them back down. If you're still feeling extra tight in your right hamstring, then you can bend your right knee and try to fit it in the back pocket of your left kneecap. Really great for those of us who tend to hyperextend as well. Now you're welcome to uncross your legs, but otherwise take fingertips down and halfway lift and see if you're able to bend your knees and rise to standing in this crossed-legged posture. Arms rise. Uncross your legs at the top. Float back down any way that it feels good to fold. Cross your right leg behind your left foot this time. Cross-legged fold the other way. Just press your big toes down, encourage them to go down. And consider your options. Backs of hands can come to the earth. Head hangs really softly. Our right knees can bend and fit in the little pocket of our left back of knee. Take one more big breath in here. On your exhalation, halfway lift so we don't get too dizzy as we rise. Fingertips come down. You can uncross your legs. You don't have to rise with crossed legs. Bend your knees as much as possible and start to roll up to standing. Love to watch what the little yogi toes do as they like press down. It's so cute as we rise. Lift up, uncross legs. And then all the hard work is done. We're just gonna breathe for the ending here. Lift arms up, breathe in. Exhale, bend your knees and swing your arms forward and down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bend knees, swing down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, reach. Exhale, release. 4 more like that, yogis. Inhale. Last one. Come to standing. Float your arms down to your heart center. And after all that movement at the end, just take a second here to check in. Might feel a little wobbly. Might feel some new energy flowing, I hope. Feel free to blink your eyes closed and immerse yourself in your breath. These tiny moments in our practice of taking notice, stopping, feeling, being aware, sensing, accepting, loving, those are how we can take yoga off of our mat. So as we move through the rest of our day, the weekend, our next week until we meet again, let's find those tiny moments to stop. Check in with yourself. Check in with your surroundings. The moments of awareness and pause is yoga off the mat. Thank you, yogis, for your practice today. Thank you for sharing it with me. The light in me honors, acknowledges, and is so really grateful to have spent that hour with the light in each and every one of you. Namaste.